Most leaders struggle with this, and maybe you do too. I know I do. So if you're anything like me, you probably tend to put off having tough conversations. And I will admit, I used to be way worse at this because I'm wired, as are you if you're a human, you're wired to avoid discomfort. And let's be honest, difficult conversations can feel really uncomfortable. But what I've learned is that avoiding them doesn't magically make the problem go away. And in fact, putting off these conversations often costs our organization money, and it adds a lot of unnecessary stress to you and to everybody involved. So a lot of people think the answer is, just be braver or push through. But I want to offer you a different, somewhat unlikely solution. And it all starts way before you open your mouth. It starts with reflection and preparation. If you spend a little bit of time asking yourself a few key questions before you go into a tough conversation, you are going to be amazed at how much smoother things go. So here are some of the questions that I run through when I need to have a tough conversation, at home or work. What's my story about what happened? What's their story? What might I not know? What are my intentions? What do I think their intentions were? What have I done, my behaviors that have impacted them? What did I contribute to the situation? What did they contribute to the situation? And as I work through those questions, what happens is I notice my stress drops and my understanding really grows. Now, it's easy to skip this step, but what happens when you do that is you get defensive or you think the worst about that person. And that's when these conversations go off the rails really fast. And there's actually another big question I like to ask myself before I go into these conversations is, how does this situation threaten my identity? And that's a really deep one and kind of a strange one. So I'm going to go into it in another video. But for now, if you're facing a tough conversation, try giving yourself time to reflect and prepare with these questions. It's made a big difference for me, and I believe that it can do the same for you.